Hello guys, welcome to Wickfree TV with me, Wickfree Scott, and this is
Wickfree Alexandra.
We are currently chilling out on our all expenses paid incentive trip here in the Dominican Republic in Punta Cana at the Hard Rock Cafe Resort. All expenses paid for two. How cool is that? We work our business and we get all expenses paid trips. I know.
It's very cool.
What do you like about that, Alexandra?
I like the fact you get to travel the world for no money, and the fact that my company that I represent says thank you for my hard work, because bosses are not known for saying thank you.
And what's awesome is this year we've seen so many of our team go to Rome, the Great Barrier Reef. We're here in
New York.
We're here in Punta Cana, New York, and we have team members off to Africa on an African safari next week too.
And Melbourne and Edinburgh for conventions as well for free.
So how awesome is that? They get to travel the world for absolutely free. But we were out for dinner with another awesome superstar director the other night, Melanie Hull.
We were.
And a question she asked me and Alexandra was, how do we manage to work together? Ouch, I'm just adjusting. How do we manage to work together?
I think she more said it like this. How do you manage to work together? Like, how do you manage it? Because most couples would kill each other.
And we actually worked together before Scentsy. We had other businesses.
And a murder mystery company.
And I must admit, it was hard work at the beginning, but I must admit things are a lot easier now. It was a lot, because like I would be very, just go and do it, make mistakes, learn from my mistakes, and Alexandra would have to like get all the T's, crosses, and plan everything, and we never actually ended up doing anything.
Yeah,
we did, but we had to.
I just very organised.
I remember first starting my events business, and I just went ahead and got on with it. And Alexandra kicked off and was like, "Oh my god, oh my god!"
I followed around picking up the little pieces.
But she kicked off. But when
wheels stayed on the bus.
But when things started doing well, she was kind of like, "Oh, this is our business." But hey, that's the way it rocks and rolls sometimes. So it was a bit frustrating at first, but I think we've learned to work with each other. I think we've learned our strengths of each other, which are probably the opposite.
Yeah,
and I think
definite opposite.
And we definitely learn our weaknesses of each other, which are probably the opposites too. So
I think the main thing is just to allow the other person to take on the jobs and the roles that they enjoy. But you also have to be open to switching it up and actually taking on new things so that you develop and grow.
Yep.
Don't you?
Yep, and
try and communicate and don't yell at each other too much.
Yeah, communicate with each other. Don't, one of the best things is, and this would be a really good tip, especially for females working with males, is if you want your male to do something, don't nag at them using your voice. Text them via Facebook. Okay, text them via message, because males, and I know this, switch off from, hey, can you do this, can you do this, can you do this? We just switch off. But when we see it in front of us, it's like a checklist of what to do. So that's a good tip for males. But no, working together is fun.
It is.
And I would say 90% of the time it's kind of a breeze these days. We have our own jobs, we do our own thing.
We just bought a house to renovate, so now we're going through the same adjustments again.
It's like we've just sorted the business relationship out, where everything's like, we know how each other work, and now we've bought a house, which we're doing up to salon. It's like Alexandra wants to do this, and I want to do the opposite, and then I want to do this, and she wants to do the opposite.
And I deal with people differently, and the builders and everything differently than the way he deals with them, and we like different colours, and so we're back to dividing up the work. And we say, okay, sure, Scott, you go off and sort the builders out. That can be your thing, and you're responsible for that, the reform of the house, and come back and discuss it all the time, but you know what I want. He is managing that, and then I'll manage all the interior design, and he will let me know what he wants. And then we'll meet in the middle.
And the thing is with me and Alexandra, and she won't mind
give and take.
She won't mind me saying this, but a few people go, oh, Scott's the front, he does all the videos, and he does all this, and he does all that. And do you want me to tell you something? Doing the videos, recruiting consultants, chatting consultants is like really easy. And people don't learn to appreciate the background stuff which goes on. Like, I might do all the videos, I might, be happy and speak to everybody, but when it comes to my accounts, when it comes to our accounts, when it comes to travel, when it comes to doing documents, when it comes to sales, when it comes to doing the little tiny things which are really annoying. That's all the stuff Alexandra does, okay? So it's like, how can I put it? It's like, you know, people say, oh yeah, you're really lucky to have Scott, he does this and that, but Alexandra does a lot of the background work, and I know it really annoys Alexandra when people say that, but
I let it slide, to be honest.
Yeah.
I you know what, there really isn't room in the business for two large personalities both giving out exactly the same message. You know, you just have to you know, my job is to help other people to shine. My job is to bring people on to the point where they're capable to do things like Scott does, and make these videos and you know, lead the team and work with the directors. You know, that is actually my role. I am the person that does I deal with the newbies, don't I? So it's my role to get them to the point, and you know, and my role is to keep the wheels on the bus going round and round, and the taxes paid, and I don't mind doing that.
And the way we see it is,
it works. We're symbiotic.
And the way we do it is like, and we talk about it, like Alexandra would be like the primary school teacher. Like, she learns like the basics, get the business up and running, get them out there getting selling. Then I'm the secondary teacher who would take them to the grown-up level, to the next level, where they advance and they earn good income. And you know, when you're at high school and you graduate from high school, you don't really think about the primary school teacher, but it's the primary school teacher who did a lot of the groundwork. Because if it wasn't for the primary school teacher, they won't come up to you wouldn't go up, sorry, this is a bad terminology, but you wouldn't come up to high school and be able to go on and progress.
I think that's a good terminology, because that is pretty much how our roles have evolved, and also it fits with our personalities as well, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It just fits with who we are, and yeah, no, you know what? My inner control freak is quite happy dealing with the accounts and you know, what else? All the travel arrangements, because those are actually things that quite stress me out. And I'm also very happy for Scott, you know, to be allowed to be let loose and do his videos and do his own thing, because that is something that he really loves and enjoys. So it's just learning to give up a bit, and I'm seeing that with our new house reform as well. Is I would deal with the building works in a bit of a different way, but Mr. Scott is going to be handling it, because he just turned around and he went, you know what, I want to learn a whole new set of skills, and I actually, you know, I'm not stupid and I'm not a baby, and I can handle this. And I was like, okay, right, well, I'll back off then and let him get on with it, because he will bring it on, because he knows it's really important to us, don't you? And he will bring it on, probably under budget, and do an amazing job and grow in confidence, and that makes our relationship better, ultimately.
It does, because sometimes, you know, Alexandra can be a bit controlling, and
yes, I have an inner control.
I see it all the time, and the reason, this is something we've really learned, the reason she likes to be controlling, and you know, it's because her insecurities within herself sometimes.
Well, I don't like to be controlling, but I do have anxieties about certain things, and the only way to deal with them is to manage them, micromanage them, like travel arrangements and things, isn't it?
Well, Alexandra, in our recent house purchase, we'll be getting all these dots like we talked at the beginning of the video. I kind of know that if when we're doing anything stressful, just take a step back, because you know, but she was getting all the dots and it was going crazy and stressed, and then this idea came into my head like this, and it was kind of sorted. It's a shame that idea didn't come in the beginning.
Well, yeah, it would have saved us a lot of time and a
but
lot
I didn't really get involved. So that's the kind of way we work. Alexandra goes away and gets all stressed, and I remain chilled out, and then because I'm chilled out and I don't really think about it, these crazy thoughts come into my head which kind of fix it. Maybe that's just me. But
yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, working together can be fun. But I
get to share the holidays.
And the thing is with us, we actually work at working together, and I think that's a massive tip. We actually work at it. We don't hate each other like some couples can do. Some couples, like, I can just thinking of my mum and dad right now, they would never ever be able to work with each other, you know what I mean? And so for some it's totally impossible, But
in fact, you speak to a lot of women and like, oh yeah, involve your husband. Like, oh my God, no way. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, Scott became involved. He was involved before I had Thea. He would carry and sell and do things like that. But when Thea was 4 months old, I just said to him, that's it. You've got to take on you've actually got to now be a full partner in the business.
And you know,
because I cannot do the business to the degree and the professionalism I want to do it without help. I literally couldn't.
And you know something, I could have done something a bit more, masculine. I had my own previous business beforehand. I'd quite happily, I had my own business ideas, my own goals, but this business is such an, I wouldn't say simple, not easy, but simple business which can change your life. And if both of us could put our efforts into it, then the magic could really happen, and it has happened, and it is happening. So if you are considering working with your partner, my tips would be to work at it. Know your wife's strengths and your wife's weaknesses. Know your husband's strengths and know your weaknesses. Play to those strengths. If they are totally a rock star at something which you're not, build on that. Use that. Have that skill. Use that skill. Don't get jealous. Don't get petty.
And I would say don't have any pride. Don't let pride get in the way, and don't let other people be like, oh yeah, they do everything. Like, don't let anybody tell you what you do within the business or don't do. Because you know yourself how much you put into it, just because someone else might be the star of the show. You know what? All the pop stars you can ever think of, all the royal families and everything else. The only reason they ever get up there and do it is because of the backroom people.
And I would put it an example as like,
so let the pride go, let the ego go.
I would be the aeroplane. I'd be the pilot and the aeroplane of the business, okay? But if it wasn't for the engineers and the people who built that aeroplane, then I wouldn't be able to fly that aeroplane.
I'm the ground crew.
Yeah, so always appreciate it, even though, your partner might not be in the front. And like I say to some people, ladies go, oh, I wish my partner would do more with our business, but he cooks, he looks after the kids, Sometimes that is the biggest thing ever. And just telling your wife or your partner that, hey, I believe in you, you can do it, and just not putting them down. Yeah. It's probably one of the most supportive things you could ever do for your business.
Support can come in all forms. They don't have to be working the business. It might be looking after the kids, or simply saying well done, or when you're self-doubting might say, you know what, I know you can do this. So, be thankful for those partners in whatever role they play, even if it's the fact that they simply never give you any hassle for all the hours you spend doing this.
Oh yeah, because simply, if you tell your partner that what they're doing is absolute garbage, that basically stops everything.
And if you do work together in your business, I would say you have to learn to let it go. If you're gonna have a row about work, disagree about it, be strong if you feel that it needs the strong words, and then let it go. Work is work, personal life is personal life, family time is family time. Try not to work during family time if you can. Try and separate the two. And honestly, just the biggest thing and the best thing I think we both learned is just to let it go. When we argue about work or disagree, we argue, and we move on. We certainly, aren't fighting, a week later about someone who did something.
Any disagreements, any drama within Scentsy is banned in front of Thea.
Yeah.
Okay, it's totally banned. That's one of the rules we have. If you've got drama, if you've got something to say, Alexandra or me, it's not done in front of Thea, because that's like taking our kid into our office and then giving her all the stress of our work, and that is not fair on her. So always remember that, to have that work and life balance, and to try and keep your kids out of stressful situations within your business and in your job, because it doesn't matter how great or easy anything is, there's always going to be stress.
You want them to want to take your business over one day. It's a legacy business, remember.
So you want them to see the good.
They ain't going to want to take anything over that broke a family up or caused pain or anguish. So yeah, I think working together takes emotional awareness of both parties, and it takes time, and it's just like marriage. You have to kind of work at it, and we should know, because we ain't even married, are we?
Oh, do you know something?
We don't even need to get married. We're so married, it's not funny.
Yeah, we don't need to get married, All our wedding day would be is, and I'm always a firm believer, no offense to people who got married
Scentsy.
young, I'm always a firm believer that you should be with someone 10 years until you get married. You should actually get to know them, and you should actually take some big humps and bruises, and I can honestly say we're probably fully qualified to get married tomorrow. But we'll wait.
Yeah, we actually still like each other.
But 90% of the time. But we will wait for that magic day and hopefully invite you all to the party. But anyway, this has gone on for 15 minutes.
Oh my goodness me. So yeah, how do we work together? Give and take.
Give and take.
For me, leave it at the door if you have a row. And your ego, don't have an ego.
Work with your partner's strengths even though you might be weak at them, and vice versa. Don't get jealous of their strengths. Exploit, is that the right word, their strengths. And yeah, don't bring it into your family life. If your kids are there.
And appreciate each other. I loved your appreciation of me on the video, and I appreciate you greatly. You know that I know that our team wouldn't be the team it is without the love and support of Scott. And he has been a sportsman for many, many years, and he brings that sports mentality, that coaching ability to play within our team, and it's why I think we have one of the best teams within the whole of the Scentsy family, because they are genuinely a team, and that comes from Mr. Scott and his strengths. So I just want to say I appreciate that you brought that to our team.
Well, thank you very much, and
you little love dove.
But always remember that, and always remember whatever you do in life, that there is the people in the background. You know, you go and watch a show at the theatre, there's the people in the background who put on the show, and it's not the person who's starring at the front. They just turn up and do what they do best. And so always appreciate the background work which goes in. Your name might not be in lights like the other business partner, but if you know in your heart that you've done a lot of hard work to contribute, that's all that matters.
And in this one, you get paid equally.
Yeah.
The star doesn't earn any
I'm
more
not saying
than the ground crew.
I'm not saying I'm a star. I'm just saying that I would be more of the. I'd be more of the. You know, what's that term? I'd be more on the front line, like in the army.
Yeah.
Well, Alexandra would be in the radio station up in the mountains.
Definitely, most definitely.
Which is probably a safer
radio
place.
Operator.
Which is probably a safer place. So anyway,
that's an analogy I can live with.
So anyway, subscribe to the channel, like the video. And
if you're starting out working together, please let us know how it goes, because it's well worth working it out.
Yeah,
if you can work out how to work together, frankly, you can do anything together.
So we're going to enjoy the sunshine a bit more now.
We are.
And we may see you on a trip. If you're interested in what we do, check out below too. You may be interested in joining us in somewhere around the world sometime. So yeah, hasta luego, amigos.
Hasta luego, guapas.